And by the way, guys, I have 5 Rolls Royces. This is my supercar section, the real hypercars. This is my newest one. Interior of the car is all wrapped by Hermes fabric. You guys seen this pony? This is my Hermes edition Pagani. And this is Beauty and the Beast. Again, Hermes. It has the Hermes grille, Hermes paint. All right, now we move to 1200 horsepower Bugatti. This is the Vitesse. Oh, I'm from Iran, and in 1984, right before I turned 14, my dad decided to flee Iran, got a visa, came to US. He had a friend in Costa Mesa that had a gas station and had promised him a job, pumping full service gas. He hadn't communicated to his wife that there is 6 people moving in. We could hear them fighting in the kitchen, and then he walked into the room. He says, "I'm sorry, you guys have to, leave, and my wife's having a problem, blah, blah, blah." So we moved to a motel. After a week in motel, my dad realized we were running out of money. I didn't speak any English, and my sister was 6 months old at the time. So it was pretty, stressful, for my parents. So my first job was Kmart. $3.15 an hour.
No way.
Yeah, 1986. Yeah, clean the stockroom, mop the floors, clean toilets. Because back then they paid cash too, it wasn't paycheck. My paycheck was like $120, $130 a week. I used to take $100, put it in a new envelope, seal it, put it under my mattress, literally under my mattress. So I did that for 1 year, and I was able to raise $5,000, and then I went and bought my car at auction. So even back then, I wanted to get deals, at age 17. Oh, it was a 1983 Honda Accord. So at 17, my car was better than my dad's. That's when I knew I'm gonna be somebody.
Yeah.
I always knew anything I'm doing early on is a stepping stone. With that mentality, I had a much bigger picture in my mind. I wanted to be a multimillionaire. I wanted to own a bunch of exotic cars, a big mansion. As a matter of fact, at age 15 or 16, I have to go find a picture. I drew a mansion with some palm trees in front of it and 2 Mercedes. Back then, I didn't know what the Ferrari is or Lamborghini.
Yeah.
I knew Mercedes, right?
Yeah.
You envision your dream where you want to be, and then your subconscious will take over. If you really put the effort, your subconscious will do the rest.
It will figure out the how.
Yeah, it's kind of like pouring water on top of the mountain. It'll find a way to get down, right? It may go straight, it may go turn left. You gotta pour the water.
And most people don't, huh?
And to pour the water, you gotta climb the mountain. I realized, okay, this is not a place, I'm gonna build my dreams, right? And so I was always looking at the newspaper, looking for opportunities. And I came across this ad, and it said, earn $1,000 a week. And I called them up. They said, yeah, it's a multi-level marketing. We sell knife sets, nuts, this, that. And I worked there for 3 years selling nuts. I was 17 and a half selling nuts. After 3 months, I was their top salesman. We would take a basket of nuts and go to auto dealerships. So I would walk in there and say, hey, I got these fresh, nuts, and chit chat with them. Hey, have you tried these? I'll make you a deal. If you buy 3, I'll give it to you for $10. People would gather. It's gonna sell $150, in 10 minutes, $2,000-3,000 a month. And I went to Costco with my dad to do some grocery shopping. And then while I was passing by, I saw the nut aisle. I'm like, hey, I did quick math. I'm like, they're selling 5 pounds of pistachio for $5, and WWI is selling it to me for $10, So I'm like, that's double the cost. So I said, why don't I buy it myself? I already have all my routes and customers, So I looked into Yellow Pages looking for polyester bags and a sealer. So I found it, I bought it. I think I spent $180 on, the sealant and some polyester bags. And then I used my dad's PC to print the labels. And I started my own business. I was 18. I got a small little office in Stanton. My dad had to co-sign because, the landlord wouldn't give it to me. Went to Costco with my dad. I bought a pallet of nuts, and I was off to races. And then I started hiring people. I used to go to phone, waiting for my burger. I pitched everybody sitting in the restaurant to sell nuts while I'm waiting for my burger. And this one guy bought 3 bags. He was the health inspector for Orange County.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he goes, hey, I don't see your permit on file. I'm like, what permit? He goes, you're selling food product. You're packaging food you can sell without permit. I didn't know. So I had to shut it down. And that was a sad day. But So that night I went home, I told my dad, so I'm thinking to go work for a tire company, you know? And then as I surround myself with more successful people, and that's a big secret to success as well, you know, you're a product of your environment. So always, find new friends that are older and more successful than you. So I was like a sponge, you know, learning from people around me, right?
Yeah.
So I met this guy, and he drove a convertible Porsche, and
Yeah.
I said, "What do you do?" He goes, "I own a mortgage company." I told him I work for a one-cent tire company, but he liked my, my attitude, my motivation, my energy. So I got my real estate license. I worked for him for 5 or 6 months. And then I realized how much money you can make in loans because I was processing them. I see how much checks, commissions you were getting on each loan. And then I tried to open my own mortgage company. I realized you need a broker. So I met another guy. So I'm like, "Hey, Mark, why don't we open a mortgage company? I don't have a broker license, but you do. We'll go 50-50. He's like, "Okay."
Early 20s?
I was 21, I think, at this point.
And your goal the whole time is like millions. I got to become a millionaire.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
From day
That
one.
mansion, palm trees, and those convertible cars.
Yeah,
That's
wow.
always
And
been.
would you say your home now is very similar to what you drew back
Very
then?
much. I have 11 palm trees in the house, king palm trees. And when you park those cars in front, it's just like that picture.
Were you writing down affirmations? I mean, were you visualizing yourself? Were you writing down the goals? I mean, what did you do to ingrain it? Or was it just a mental thing that you
It was
always
all
fixated
mental.
on?
I mean, although, the past 10 years I've been writing my goals every day, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. My goals, I actually have a spreadsheet I made 25 years ago of how much I'm going to be worth by the time I'm 67. I put all these numbers in there. If I make 10% a year, but this one house I have, I sell it, I buy 2 houses, and I use this formula to see if I'm on the right track.
Wow, yeah,
Yeah.
that's incredible.
So, you have to keep your mind to stay on the right path. You have to constantly write your goals. You have to have some kind of a
Guide,
parameter
GPS.
guide. Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. Life is like a road trip, right? First, you got to find your destination. Where do you want to go in life? What makes you happy? To some people, this is not happiness, but they want to be free spirited, travel, and they're happy. But the most important thing, find your destination, find out where you want to be in life, whether it's becoming a yoga teacher that makes you super happy or be on a Forbes billionaire list, whatever it is. Because I truly think anyone can do anything and be anybody they want in life as long as they're patient and they have a roadmap. When I did my mortgage company, I was making I made $290,000 the first year. My mortgage company, 1993 to 94, and I was 23, 24 years old. So back then, this 25 years ago, that was a lot of money, right? More money than I could use, but then I lost it nearly all. I was negative net worth by 1998. I was negative net worth. I sold my house, my cars. I was bouncing a check. I was renting a car from Budget Rental Car on my Amex because just so I can pay the rental next month. I didn't have any money. So I was going to Wells Fargo Bank before 9 a.m. to cover my overdraft so I don't bounce checks. And I was going before 4 p.m. the same day, going back to Wells Fargo with whatever my cash registers had from the supermarket to put in my account so I don't become overdrawn for the next day. So it was like a vicious cycle, and I still end up bouncing checks. I remember sometimes Rockview Farms or Coca-Cola used to come to pick up a check for the previous month invoices. And as soon as I see the truck pull up, I used to go hide upstairs in the stockroom. I told my cashier, "So no, I'm not here," because I didn't have money. I knew if I write a check, it's gonna bounce. So I tried to delay as much as I can. I hate to say it, but it's survival. What are you gonna do? If I don't have it, I don't have it, right? So that was a pretty low period of my life financially. But then I was able to push the sales up, sold the supermarket. I told myself, I'm losing money anyway. Why don't I just lose a little bit more on the margins and just lower my prices, get the sales up, so at least it has got good revenue. And that's what I did, and it worked. And I sold it for, I think, $185,000. Then after that, I played with the stock market a little bit. I made some money. I bought a small shopping center in Whittier, a couple of homes. But my big break after that came when I bought a shopping center that was abandoned in Santa Ana from California Bank and Trust for $660,000, and I flipped that and I made $1 million on it. So that was a big chunk that, you know, I was a millionaire for first time, liquid millionaire, and I was 29 years old. So that was, I would say, that's probably was my most defining moment. Going to ATM, get a receipt that says over $1 million in your account. It's just such a great feeling, you know, especially when you're not, you know, under 30, you know. And then I put that money to work. So I pulled a bunch of apartment buildings in Long Beach, and I looked for properties that had price reductions, multiple price reductions. That tells me the seller's motivated. And I found properties that would add value. You know, rent hasn't been increased for many years. The owner's not maintaining the property, landscaping's dead, it needs paint job, things like that. So I use my cash to my advantage by closing, 5 to 7 day escrow versus 60 day. And that worked. And then I start buying apartment buildings with my cash. So, and then I improve them, increase the rents to market, and then flip them. So I did that for a couple of years, and I grew my money to $3 million. And then from there, I start writing offers on commercial property. After 15 years doing that, and close to $1 billion in transactions, I kind of honed my skills, at negotiating and finding value add where I could increase the, real estate value. And it's been a great ride. And I'm hoping I can inspire some people to follow that path as well.